So you've got a job in a Big Four firm. Well done. And I guess you're thinking, how do I move my career forward? How do I get promoted around here? How do I become, the success story that people look at and go, wow, he or she really progressed their career? Well, the first thing is take a step back. You don't need to do everything. You don't need to be involved in everything from day one. You've got a huge amount of learning to get done before you can handle the more complex projects and client work. And the best thing you can do is realize that this is going to take time and you're on a career path. But how do you get noticed for that right reasons as that junior professional in a Big Four firm, whether you're in tax, whether you're in audit, whether you've gone into one of the consulting roles? So the first thing is do the simple stuff really well. And what does that mean? That means being trustworthy, reliable. It means when you get your work reviewed, that there's no typos, that it's well written, that you do what you say you're going to do, that you're honest with people, whether you've got the time to do something when you're asked. You turn up to meetings on time. Now, if these are virtual meetings, on time means 5 minutes in advance. That means that if there's any problems with the tech, you've got 5 minutes to sort it out. So you're there and ready and not flustered. Now, if you've joined a Big Four firm, you're bright, you're able, you're keen, you probably went to a top university, you've got a great degree. Of course, you impatient to get onto the more complex stuff. You're probably looking at the next 3 roles up, going, "I'm after you" type stuff. But give these simple tasks that you're given, whether it's ticking and bashing an audit, whether it's a simple tax comp, your full attention, rather than getting impatient to get onto the more complex stuff. Now, you'll know very quickly that you've been given a budget for any piece of work that you get done, and that's a time budget. So be clear about how much time you've got to spend on it, what's expected of you when you do it, and also speak up earlier if you're not sure what you're being asked to do. Don't kind of go, yeah, I can do it, and then figure it out later, because you're most likely to blow the time budget and somebody's going to get annoyed with you that you weren't able to do it in the time, or that you've gone completely wrong and now they've got to re-pick it all. So the first thing is do the stuff really well. The next thing is ask questions and be curious. For example, you might be just doing one small bit of an audit, but how does that fit into the greater stuff? You might just be doing one small part of a project, but how does that fit in? What's important? When you know the bigger picture, that's when you can step out and take initiative. That's when you can really shine, because someone goes, oh, they're really thinking about what they're doing. They're really interested in the bigger picture and what that means. So, don't just get headlong into that, I've just got to do this little bit. So be curious, what's important to the client, what's important to the stakeholders in client, what's important to my manager or the person above that. And when you know that, it's a lot easier to do the right thing. Now, it goes without saying, be easy to work with. I've been around these big firms and someone gets a bad reputation very quickly. So get a good reputation for being easy to work with. So have that smile, that positive attitude, bring your whole self to work. The easier it is to be you, the more likable you'll be with. You're going to get given loads of feedback as a junior member of the team. It could be feedback on your work, feedback how you are with others, feedback on how you are with a client. Treat it as a gift. Even if you think that's really unfair, but treat it as a gift. Say, thank you very much. I'm going to take the time to reflect on that. Now, the other thing is you may have been top of your class at school. You may have been top of your year at uni. You may be the shining star. Don't think anything's beneath you. It's really important that you can be seen to muck in, that you're prepared to get your hands dirty, that you're prepared to be one of the team, that you're not arrogant, that you're not, why am I doing that? And, I've seen that. I have seen that. And you've got to remember, in a pecking order, you're at the bottom. So the more that you can be seen as helpful, be easy to work with, you're going to get noticed for the right reasons. And you're new into this profession. You may only be a couple of years into your Big Four life. Be energetic, be enthusiastic. You don't have the same emotional baggage that many more senior people that have been around have. Bring that to your job and you'll be loved for that. Now, the next thing is, they might sound a bit weird, have a fresh perspective. Most entrants into the Big Four at the early entry level roles, should I say a fair, are in their 20s. So you've got a different view of the world than someone that's 40 or 50. There might be times where sharing that view of the world and can we do this better, simpler, cheaper is actually the time to speak up. Now, of course, always respect that there's been decisions taken of why we do this certain way, but always ask the question, could we do this any better? I've got an idea, but I just want to ask why we do it this way first, so I can truly understand, am I missing something? The next thing, it might sound really strange because at the moment you're really committed to getting those first qualifications, getting to maybe your accountancy, your tax qualifications. Maybe it's something to do with your consultancy background. You maybe your project management, Prince 2, you're really working hard to get those qualifications. It isn't your technical skills that is going to make or break your career in the Big Four. It's actually the client handling skills, the business development skills, the commercial acumen, that is going to make or break your career in the Big Four. So take every opportunity you can to deepen those. So that's interpersonal communication, business development, managing clients, teamwork, problem solving. And, you know, it's not too soon to start to get really immersed into one sector or maybe a couple of sectors so that you've got something to bring to the party. You know, maybe you're just chit-chatting with a client as you wait for a more senior member, so you can have a conversation with them. The next thing is get an influential mentor. Now, if someone fairly junior, you may be unlikely to be able to get a partner, but can you get a director that's on the way up? Can you get somebody that's seen to be a bright shining star that you can relate to? You know, and actually not just have them, but spend time with them, get the benefit of their career to date. You will get noticed for being that sort of proactive. Now, you know, I've worked and I've heard this before, but a lot of people, they're in the Big Four. I want to show that I can cope. I want to get onto the more complex stuff. Give it to me. Actually be honest if you don't understand what you're being asked to do. Be honest if you don't know how you're being asked to, what you need to do and that how. Be honest. You know, trying to figure it out on your own can lead to really blowing the budget, making mistakes and getting a rather ratty manager going, why did you do it like this? Why didn't you come and ask me? It's really important that you put your hand up. Can I just ask, is this the right way to do it if you're unsure? So these are the key things that I would talk about if you want to get noticed as someone that's junior into a Big Four role. So do the simple stuff really well. Be curious and ask questions. Be easy to work with. Have that fresh perspective. Take every opportunity you can to improve your non-technical skill set. Get that influential mentor and be honest if you don't understand what you're being asked to do.